Welcome back to Living with a Classic. We're here with the Range Rover for its retest. Last time it failed on 3 things. It's the first time this thing's actually failed on something in our ownership, which I think we're coming up on 3 years now. So it was a ball joint, which was a pain to change. It was brake lines, so I made new ones up front. They also changed brake hoses up front. I flushed the whole brake system, and actually I replaced the caliper in the back, which had a tendency to stick. I replaced the other one a while ago, so now they're both new on the back, and it has a new third brake light. I'll show that to you guys. So that all works. New LED unit up here in the spoiler. That's all working. I'm gonna go inside, announce I'm here. We'll see what happens, and then when we get back home, we'll go through the cost, because this was actually one of the most expensive MOT fixes I've done in a long time. But I'm really happy with this car. As my wife loves to drive it, and it is such a great family hauler, the Range Rover. So it's right after the test now, and it doesn't happen often. I'm actually pissed. So I was at a station I usually don't go to when I had to get this thing MOT the first time, because it was summer and vacation and not many places were open, and it said lower ball joint, and they pointed at there's sort of 2 at the front. We'll get into that in a little bit. They pointed at the one that they said was bad, and I said yes, and I replaced that one. However, it's the one in the front, and I wouldn't want to call that one a ball joint. It's very difficult because I'm translating this. Of course, it's in Swedish, but I went to a parts store and I actually ordered the other part, and I asked them, would you call it what they call it on here? And they said no, they wouldn't. They would call that a control arm, because you thing. I just gave the kids some ice cream here in the back. So yeah, I need to fix that and come back. I just ordered it. Should have it tomorrow, and I think I'm gonna have go to my friend who has a shop with some big tools like we used to get the old one out, and get that one out, because I don't have such a big fork to get that one out. Or maybe I'll attempt it, we'll see. But yeah, really annoyed with this, but I think we can still go back home. We can add up the post, see how much this costs. I can continue driving it for another couple of weeks to take it back, or my wife can. But really annoyed. Not very often that I'm actually really pissed, but I am, because that was a lot of work to replace something that didn't need to be replacing. And I actually asked them to show me which one it was, and they showed the rear one, and that's the one I replaced. Yeah, really mad about this. All right, back home, and I have the part on order. It's a little bit later, and I got actually a text message. They said they were going to order it right away, and it was in their warehouse, so they have it and I can go pick it up. So that's really good. I also spoke to another friend, and I don't know, this is once again difficult translation, but at least in Swedish, the way they described it, I replaced the part that they wrote, not the one that they wanted, and also the one that they pointed at. So yeah, it doesn't happen very often, but like I said, I'm actually really annoyed. But I want to finish what I started out with this video, which was sort of proving that Range Rovers aren't really as bad as people say, because this ended up being the worst sort of MOT failure I've had on this thing. And yes, it may sound like a lot, but actually a lot has been done. So you see, it's a pretty long list of things. Lots of things could have been bought cheaper. I bought, OEM parts, and also some cases I ordered the part, like now with the control arm I bought there. I ordered that, with next day delivery, so that of course makes it more expensive. But the ball joint, 60 bucks, brake light, 95, oil filter and filter, 90, brake hoses, lines and fluid, 53, rear caliper was 55, rear pads, I got Brembo ones, they're 80, and the control arm now is 140. And yeah, I just converted everything to dollars to make it easier, and that total is 573, which really, for a old luxury giant car, that's really not bad at all. That was one of the worst. Of course, when I got it, it had been sitting for a while, and we did a lot to it. It was somewhere, I think, around $500 or $700 in parts. But I mean, that included expensive things like a battery, all of the serpentine belts, idlers and things which are specific for a supercharged cars. So a lot of things like that. So honestly, I'd say this thing is,
you know, when it's ready to go, we have 14 months here between inspections, and as a fresh service, and it runs beautifully. I'd say that's pretty cheap, because what is like 500 bucks? Is that a month and a half on a car payment, or a month on a car payment? I've never had a car payment because we've always had older cars. So I honestly think that if you do work yourself like I do, keeping one of these is really not an issue. And it's a wonderful car. My wife is so happy that she can take it to work tomorrow, because we can drive it for another couple of weeks. And honestly, I'm not even sure if there is any play in that thing. We're going to see that when we take it apart, because yes, the thing did have a knock before, and I was happy that they found that. And now when I was driving it, there's no knock. So yeah, very strange. Possibly both of them were bad, and I don't know. But if both were bad, they should have told me. Yeah, really annoying. But anyway, this is just a really quick update. If you're looking for some of the other Chag videos, they're coming up really soon. I have some big things planned. So I've been working on some customer cars that I don't always film for you guys. We have one over there, the Daimler 66, done a lot of work to it. Customers picking it up tomorrow. So yeah, sometimes there's things around that I don't feel it's worth filming because I've done it a ton of times. So some of the work I do for a living, like working on these old Jags, I do over and over again. So it's not always fun to show you guys, but that's why sometimes there's a lot of content, and sometimes there is different things, and I like to show that as well. I want to have a broad channel, and the Range Rover is part of this channel. And there is a big chance that the Range Rover is going to get another 4x4 friend in a little bit. I've sort of made arrangements with something, and it's going to be a collection caper video and like a 7-hour drive home. So if you like big 4x4s, keep an eye on the channel for that later this fall. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with friends. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. It really does help out a lot. Till next time, I'm Adam. This was Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon.